Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Sandy Toe Tarot. My name is Laura. I'm here to do a weekly reading. This is going to be just a little bit of an energy update for January 10th through the 16th, but the question I'm asking is what's coming your way this week? If it does not resonate with you, please don't try to make it fit. Move on to another pile or move on to another tarot reader. There's so many great tarot readers here on YouTube, and I love them all. I love the tarot community on YouTube. I am back in Florida, and I can't imagine any better place to be in January or the winter time than in Florida. I just love it here. I did go out for a very long drive, and when I crossed that border back into Florida and started seeing those palm trees, it just felt like home, and I'm glad to be back. So listen, you guys, thank you so much for your support on this channel and for your comments. Keep them coming. I love to read your comments. I like to know how I'm doing. I like to know if the readings are resonating with you or if they aren't. Thanks so much for giving the videos that you like a thumbs up. It does help the channel and it helps me as well. And as always, feel free to share my channel with anybody that you think might be interested. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this weekly reading for January 10th through the 16th. I will pull 3 piles and I'll pull some cards in the process of the reading as needed. If it's just pretty basic in the beginning, we'll just go with what we got. But anyway, I will put the camera down so you can choose the pile that is speaking to you, and then I'll put timestamps in the description box below so you can go directly to your reading. Have a great week, and I'll see you at your reading. Welcome back, my friends. In front of you are the options for the weekly reading of January 10th through the 16th. I have 3 piles out here for you to choose from. This is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. On pile 1, there's a very rough cut amethyst. On pile 2, a brown jasper. And on pile 3, an aquamarine. This is also very rough cut. So these are your options for this week. Choose the pile that's speaking to you however you want to. The question is just basically what's coming up this week. What are the energies for this week? In the cards might tell you what's coming toward you, might tell you just what the energy is, what kind of things you'll be dealing with this week or whatever. So that could be anything, but it's just basically what's happening for the week of January 10th through 16th. You can choose the pile however you like. Some choose based on just the number alone. They just like the number. Some choose based on the stone that they like. Some choose based on the timestamp in the description box below. And then some people just choose based on their intuition. However you do it is the right way for you. So again, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Make your choice, and I will see you at your reading. Welcome back, my friends. If you chose pile 1 for your weekly messages for January 10th through the 16th, this is what we got. So pile 1 did have the extremely rough cut amethyst on it. It's really pretty. So amethyst is like associated with the crown chakra, intellect and clarity of thought. Actually, it promotes balance and harmony. So it's a great stone. A lot of people who are trying to work through addictions will carry amethyst with them because the literal meaning is not intoxicated. So it does help people who are working through some kind of addiction, usually with substances, but it can be anything. We can be addicted to anything, right? I've just realized I might be addicted to food. I'm gonna try to take care of that this month. Anyway, so here's the cards that I pulled. I just pulled a few initially, then I'll pull other cards as necessary as we go through the reading. So these are the Herbal Tarot deck today, and you got the 5 of Wands, you got the Knight of Swords, 7 of Cups. I actually just tried to pull 3, but I got 4 for you guys, and the King of Pentacles. Okay. So the King of Pentacles is, for me, associated with the Gemini in the Minor Arcana. It is also an older gentleman who is Very good with the money, very good with the material things, very stable, very practical king. So that's a people card, and I kind of, this, you might be a Gemini, you might have a Gemini in your life that has to do with what's going on in your life this week, maybe a boss, maybe a father figure, maybe. Now, don't get too caught up in gender, because women can read as kings sometimes if they're at the top of their element. Let's just say Pentacles are associated with the earth signs, so that would be Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So if one of those signs is in your life and they're a woman, if they are at the top, if they've reached the pinnacle of that sign, which means they've kind of mastered who they are and what that sign represents, which is being very grounded, being very practical, being very earthy, very associated with material things, that kind of thing, then they will read as a king. But I'm going to put that down there because for weekly readings, since I'm really just dealing with 3 cards here, I want action cards. It's like what's happening. This may be that you just need to embody these traits this week to be, if you're making decisions, be very practical about it, be very grounded about it, maybe do some grounding meditations before you make decisions. It's that kind of thing. Okay, so what we have here is a little bit of some unexpected news coming your way, or some upsetting news coming your way. The Knight of Swords represents that. It does indicate something coming into your life. Usually the knights are on horses, so that means moving energy, something coming in. And the swords can represent like a clarity of thought, so that's cool. If you are getting some clarity this week, that's awesome. A lot of times this card will represent some news that's coming into you. It's unexpected. It can represent a younger gentleman under the age of 35 who is kind of rash, doesn't necessarily think through their decisions. Maybe would be the opposite of this practical, down-to-earth king. Doesn't really think through the decisions, acts rashly. So a person like that may play into your week. So next to this Knight of Swords, we have the 5 of Wands, which is a card of conflict. It can be a card of internal conflict, like there's a decision that needs to be made. You're having trouble seeing your way around it. There are maybe too many options for it. You're conflicted about which direction you should go in. A lot of times this is a card for competition too. So maybe if you've applied for a job, this card is telling you that there's some competition out there for the job, so you're going to have to compete to get it. For some of you, this may be competition for your affections. If you are, particularly if you are a woman, I'm seeing this. Like there's some competition for your affections, and one of them is from a very young, rash, but exciting and intellectual knight, and then one is from a very stable, kind of way more down to earth and grounded king kind of person. So that may be for some of you. There's some competition for your affections. Okay, so the 7 of Cups here is kind of a pie in the sky card. It's daydreaming a little bit. Well, first of all, when you have decided that, okay, it is a new year, right? So we're still kind of in new year mode, and we're trying to look at what comes next, maybe for this year, or what we'd like to manifest, that kind of thing. So this can be a card of looking at all the options that are available to you and kind of picking out your wish list from the universe. It's like, I want this experience, I want this person, I want this, I want this. So it could represent that. But it can also represent there are so many options out there, and you're looking at so many options that it's hard to focus on any one thing. So the message of the card is you need to pick one. What do you really want? Decide what you really want and then move in that direction. And that actually could be what this internal conflict is about for this week. You're having trouble deciding what it is that you really want. So I do feel like for those of you who are, that is the case, you might have a couple of options in romance. You have a ton of options in the direction that you want to move in next. You have some internal conflict about what direction to go in. And the good news is that this Knight of Swords comes in this week, this unexpected news or information, something coming into you to help you make this decision. So let's just keep these two people cards here together, and I'm just going to pull just a couple of more tarot just to see if there's anything else we need to know about this particular message, or if there's any other direction we could be talking in here. There's one, I'll take that one. You got the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and just one more, Spirit, if I could just get one more to kind of help clarify this tarot message here. Just one more. Okay, I will take that one. All right, so So for some of you, I feel like there's been, this is a card of heartbreak. It's not a particularly pleasant card. It is a card of a bleeding heart. And listen, I hate the card too. Well, I don't hate the card, but I hate the feeling too. But nobody escapes this life without some heartbreak along the way. And it does happen. So to me, it feels like there has been a little bit of heartbreak along the way. Recently, I'm going to say in recent months, or maybe that's kind of what you're dealing with this week. You're still dealing with it a little bit. There's still some kind of internal conflict over this heartbreak. I do always say this about the Three of Swords, though. When this comes along, to me, it's better. It comes after that Two of Swords, which is a little bit of indecision and not being able to see stuff that's going on beneath the surface. To me, the Three of Swords is at least a lancing of a wound that has been growing and festering underneath the surface. It's not pleasant. It's painful, actually, but it is like a bursting open. Once that all that nastiness, that pus or whatever that's festering underneath the surface, if it just stays there, nothing happens, it stays. It just continues to rot and fester and irritate and cause problems. Once this Three of Swords comes along, that's kind of a lancing of that wound. So at least you know it's kind of something that was happening beneath the surface, but at least now you know and you can deal with it, because you cannot deal with stuff that you do not know about, right? So yeah, I think you still have some internal conflict this week over some heartache that has happened. But the good news is over here. The good news is the Wheel of Fortune means the wheel is turning in your favor. Fortune is shining upon you. It's a 10, so it's an ending and a beginning at the same time. Something comes along this week, some unexpected news comes along to get you out of this kind of bad place that you've been in of the internal conflict about the heartache. It moves you forward, and it moves you forward into whatever you want, basically. Take your pick. What do you want? The world is your oyster. Okay. Well, that was unexpected. But I do like that. This is kind of like the cycle of life too here, right? Even all good things, just as all good things have to come to an end, so do all bad things. And this week, the bad cycle that you have been in is coming to an end, and the wheel of fortune is turning in your favor. Okay, I'm going to get one message from the angels and ancestors, just words of wisdom from our angels and ancestors for pile ones for the week of January 10th through the 16th. What words of wisdom can you provide? For pile ones, drum, dream, and journey. So that kind of goes right along with this. Don't be afraid to look at all the options that are open up to you. This is daydreaming, right? So you're getting ready to go into the wheels turning in your favor. You're getting ready to go into manifestation phase. So this is saying daydream about what it is that you want. This is kind of the week to be clear about what it is that you want moving forward. Okay, so from the Sacred Traveler, what does pile one need to do, if anything? What action does pile one need to take this week? What do they need to do, if anything? What action does pile one need to take? Begin now, take your first step. Okay, sorry about that interruption. All right, so what you got for the Sacred Traveler and the question, what action does pile one need to take, if anything, what do they need to do? You got begin now, take your first step. So it does look like that you are actually being asked this week to take a look at the direction that you want to go in. What do you want? Because it looks like it's favorable for moving in that direction this week. Like maybe something happens to open up one of your desires, one of your wishes. The wheel of fortune is turning in your favor. Something's coming to open it up, and you will be asked to take the first step. Dream and journey. So figure out what your dreams are, what you want to do, and then take the first steps. Okay, so I think that's very clear about what's going on with you guys for this week. You're moving past this heartache and this internal turmoil and this indecision, and you're moving on to your dream life, your daydreams. It begins this week. Take the first steps to what it is that you really want. Okay, so that's all I have for pile ones. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, my friends. If you chose pile 2 for the weekly January 10th through the 16th reading, these are going to be your messages. Pile 2 did have the brown jasper on it, and that's just a very earthy stone. All the brown stones are very earthy. It promotes stability, ecological awareness too, but just it's a very grounding stone. So it promotes stability and balance. Okay, so I just pulled a few cards to start us off for the weekly reading. I'm going to just read anything that comes through. Hopefully this is kind of more like what's coming your way this week or what energies you'll be dealing with, but we'll just have to see what comes out. These are the Herbal Tarot this week, and the first one you have is Suspended Person. That is correlates with the Hanged Man in the Rider-Waite deck. You got the Page of Wands. And you got the Fool card. Okay. Guess what? This is pretty exciting. First thing I see here is green. In all these cards, just a green shining through. Green is associated with abundance, and that means abundance in all areas, right? It's not just money, but money is included. So here's the thing. Let's just do it this way. You got just the way that they came out. All right, so the Suspended Person is kind of what I call an adult timeout. It's taking some time out, sometimes self-imposed time out, sometimes it's imposed upon you by circumstances where action is suspended. You are, this guy's hanging upside down from a tree, and it just means that. It's like suspended animation. Nothing is moving forward. This happens when you need to look at things from a different perspective, or because of this, you have the opportunity to look at things from a different perspective. So if you notice this bright light around his head at the end, that is what comes from this kind of adult timeout. The bright idea. You get the bright idea. You get the message from the divine. You get the what it is that you need. Why, for whatever reason you stopped activity, whether that was imposed upon you or you did it yourself, that was probably because something was out of balance. You need to look at things from a different perspective, and then the light shines, and then you can move forward. Well, that's what's happening this week. The Page of Wands, pages, let's see. So they are something that is on offer from in the earthly plane, like a new beginning that's on offer. The aces of suits are beginnings as well, but those are kind of beginnings that are offered from the hand of God. The pages is kind of a new beginning that is more earth-based. It's something come to you that is earth-based. Well, the Page of Wands, first of all, it's minor arcana for Sagittarius, but it is also, see this guy, he's got this wand here. Wands are energy, creative ideas. The Page of Wands really can mean vitality and good news is coming your way. So I feel like that is what's happening this week. You have been in a state of suspended animation. Vitality and good news comes into you this week, and it causes you to start anew. Not start over. We never say start over, right? Because if you say start over, you're just repeating the cycle. It's like, okay, I'm going to start over and I'm going to do that all over again. Nobody wants to do that. We want to learn our lessons the first time and then start anew on a new journey, and that's what's happening for you guys. I love the Fool card. It is jumping out on a complete leap of faith. It is a brand new beginning. It's exciting. It's adventurous. You don't know how it's going to turn out. You don't know. You're not taking very much with you. What you have in this little pack here is what you're taking with you. So you're traveling lightly, which is almost always has to be the way on a new adventure. You have to travel lightly. You can't take all the old baggage with you. Looks like that's gone. So you get a new, fresh start here, which is awesome. So for my pile twos, what's happening for you this week is literally a new beginning of a new adventure. You're stepping out on faith, and that's probably going to be different for all of you. So I can't, I will get just a couple of tarot cards for the general message to see if there's anything else in this general message. But it's going to be different for all of you what this new beginning is about. It can be anything. A new beginning in romance, a new beginning in an old relationship, by the way. A new beginning as in a new job. A new beginning as in moving, changing locations. Gosh, it could just be anything. A new beginning in something that you've been training for and you reached a standstill. Could be an athletic thing, or could be anything. When we're talking new beginnings, it could be anything. But you do get some news that pushes you towards this new adventure. Let's get just a couple more Radiant Rider-Waite tarot cards to see if we can get more information, or is there any other information that we need on this particular message here for my pile twos? Is there anything else that we need to know about this? Okay. Another card of a new beginning. Another card of a new beginning. So the pages I said are new beginnings that are on offer from the earthly, from things that are happening here. The Page of Swords is associated with Taurus. It's minor arcana for Taurus. But it can also be a young person who is very intelligent, has a definite clarity of thought. They're the great thinkers, the swords. And so this can be some new beginning, some new adventure that is on offer to you, maybe because of this. Because after you've gone within, you get some clarity here. So it pushes you forward into a new adventure. The Sword of Truth, that's what you call that right there, the Sword of Truth. I will say this about this guy here. He has that sword ready to use. He's got it in his hand and he is ready to use it. This new beginning may come after cutting somebody or something out of your life so that you can move forward. And the reason I say this is a new beginning as well. It's a victory. It's a new beginning that is hard won, like maybe there's been some adversity going on here and you're moving past that. Again, the Sword of Truth. What is your truth? What is your truth? What is true for you? That is what is winning you this new beginning. You've gone within to find out what that is. And because of that, you get this new beginning. For some of you, it's going to be an emotional healing, a new beginning in the emotional realm. This is minor arcana. The Queen of Cups to me is minor arcana for Scorpio. But it can also be an older woman who, she's like the kindergarten teacher. Everybody just loves her. She's... her heart is so wide open. She carries her heart on her sleeve. She's kind of good with the emotions in relationships. She's mastered her emotions a little bit, not to the king level, but really high up, right? So she is good at relating and she is good at relationships. So for some of you, that new beginning is going to be about a relationship. It can also be about cutting off some things in your past that have not served you on an emotional level. And this could be a new beginning that comes after an emotional healing that's for you. In any case, that's what is happening for you guys this week. It's stepping out on faith into a brand new beginning that is heartfelt, that comes from the heart. It's something that you love, even if it is an adventure or it's a new job. It's a new job that you love, or it's an adventure that comes from that which you love, or it is a new adventure in love. Can be that for some of you. So just to run down the people cards again, we got Sagittarius represented here, we got Taurus represented here, and we have Scorpio. You may be one of those, or one of those people might have to do with your week, maybe involved in your week in some way. All right, so from the angels and the ancestors, I'm just going to get final words of wisdom for my pile twos. What final words of wisdom do you have for the pile twos, angels and ancestors? Love it. Heart guardian. Love and let yourself be loved. I do feel like you guys, for some of you, this is an emotional healing. It's a emotional new beginning, and for some of you, it is a relationship new beginning. Like when I say this is hard won, like maybe there's been some heartache, some people you've had to cut out of your life. Was difficult. You kind of took a time out maybe from dating or from getting involved in relationships because of this difficult thing that you had to cut out of your life. But now we're moving forward again. Maybe because of some information that you receive, some good news that you receive. maybe it's just through just taking this time out and doing this healing process. So what comes to you is emotional healing. Let yourself be loved. It's okay. Not everybody is going to be like, not everybody's going to be like this person that you had to cut out. So let that go. Don't let that ruin your new relationship. Open yourself up to being loved. I could be speaking to myself right now. But I'm not. I'm speaking to you, pile 2. Okay. So just this last question that I want to ask with the Sacred Traveler cards. What, if anything, does pile 2 need to do? What action do they need to take? This is so from the divine. I just looked down and noticed all that purple in that. This new beginning is so on offer to you from the divine. You deserve it. You really deserve it. It is quite a victory. Okay. So, what does pile 2 need to do, if anything? What action do they need to take? You got ascending the mountain. Keep going forward. Oh, more purple. That's beautiful. Keep going forward, you guys. Take that leap of faith. Just keep moving forward. There's no looking back. This is over. Do not look back. You are, when you talk about ascending that mountain, that means, you know, it's slow and steady. It's not, clearly it's not easy for you to open your heart up right now. It's slow and steady. When you meet that person, you're going to have to tell them, hey, we're just going to have to take this slow. And that's fine. Absolutely fine. Take it slow, keep moving forward, and then when you get to the top of that mountain, just take the leap of faith. Once you're comfortable with that person, just take the leap. But something comes in that moves you forward on that mountain. Oh, that's beautiful, you guys. Okay, so that's all I have for my pile 2s. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, my pile 3s. These are going to be your messages for January 10th through the 16th for your weekly reading. So this actually it's very faint. You can see the faint blue in there. It is a rough cut aquamarine, and the aquamarine is a very spiritual stone. It promotes spiritual awareness and enlightenment. It also can help you get in tune with your emotions, in case you want to get one of those and put it in your pocket. It's a pretty color. Okay, so I just chose 3 Herbal Tarot cards to just get us started for this reading. I'll pull other cards as necessary, but let's just take a look at what you got for the week. Got the 3 of Wands, the World, and the 10 of Cups. Wow, that's amazing. It's going to be a good week for my pile 3s. Okay, so let's just talk through this. The 3 of Wands is a card of, it's one of my favorite cards in the Minor Arcana, because this guy, as you notice, is looking out on the entire world. It's taking steps toward a new adventure that is huge. That is like you have gone deep within and you have decided, this is vision board kind of stuff, right? You have looked out on the world, the whole world, and decided what it is that you want, what you want your magical future to be like. Well, the 3 of Wands is picking up one of those adventures and saying, yep, I'm moving forward with this one. This is the direction I want to go in. Threes are the number of creativity. So this is like a very exciting time for moving forward with your creative ideas. The second card you have here is the World. Again, this card is looking out on the entire world and deciding what it is that you want to do. And then you got the World card right next to that. So the world is opening up to you guys this week in some way. That's probably going to be different for all of you. Well, it will be different for all of you. So for some of you, it might have to do with family ties, but we'll get into that here in a minute. But the wheel, or the world, is in a circle here, as you notice, and that represents it's just like that life is a cycle. The cycle has endings and it has beginnings. So what's coming to you this week is a new beginning. A cycle has ended and a new beginning is starting for you. It is a very happy new beginning. It brings you all 10 cups. If you remember in the 8 of Cups, he's going out to look for his 9th cup. He wants that ninth cup. In the 9 of Cups, that is like a wish fulfillment card. It's like everything that you've ever wished for, whatever it is that you've wished for, is coming to you. You get it. You win. It's a wish fulfillment card. The 10 of Cups is overflowing with love, abundance. Your relationships are amazing. It is just a super happy and auspicious card. A lot of times it is family oriented, like it represents a happy, very happy nuclear family. And I think that's because it kind of is the culmination of the cups, which has to do with love and relationships. But to me, it's bigger than that. It's the whole world. It's got especially in this rendition of it, it's not necessarily just family. It's got the rainbow here. The rainbow is shining. The sun is shining, and the rainbow is illuminating all over, coloring the world for you with beauty. It's euphoria to me. It's just a very, very happy, fulfilled state of being. And that is what you guys are moving toward. This is your new life that you guys are starting here. A new cycle is beginning this week. Okay, so let's just pull a couple of extra tarot here just to see if there's any other messages that Spirit wants to add to this. I'm not going to do like individual clarifications because I feel like that's all pretty clear. And once you start clarifying cards individually, your reading gets real, it just gets narrowed down more and more and more to individuals. And that's not necessarily what this reading is about. It's about for the collective for the week. So for some of you guys, this is all going to be different. It's like what you are moving towards, what has been completed, and what life you're moving toward. That's going to be individual. But let's just see if there's any more messages here for the collective for the week of January 10th through the 16th in relation to this message that's already out here. So what do we need to know, if anything? Okay, well, that's going to be too many cards. So I'm not going to... I'll take maybe one or two more. That's it. Anything else? Okay. Well, this actually may be for one person. Okay. God, that's dark. All right, so what we got here is the 9 of Swords. We got the 5 of Swords. We got the 3 of Swords. We got the Page of Swords. We got the 7 of Swords. Good Lord. Okay. So swords are, they're associated with the air signs generally, but they're also associated with conflict. It's not easy energy, the swords. You got the 9 of Swords, which is a card of worry. You got the 5 of Swords, which is a card of some pretty nasty conflict. You got that along with the 3 of Swords, which is a card of some heartbreak. You got that with the Seven of Swords, which is taking your leave, and with the Page of Swords, which is minor arcana for Taurus. But another meaning for this card is, if you notice, first of all, it's clarity of thought, like, and maybe some message that comes in that gives you some clarity of thought about a situation. And then using that sword, your sword of truth, to cut out everything that you need to cut out, or something that you need to cut out of your life so that you can move forward. I feel like that's what this is about right here. You are moving into a new cycle here. This is so beautiful. These cards are so beautiful up here, that you're moving out into the world. A cycle is completed, a new one is beginning. It opens up the whole world to you, this cycle that is beginning, and eventually it moves you into this kind of like paradise, that whatever you deem paradise to be for your life, it moves you into that, a complete state of euphoria where it's your very happy future. Your home life is beautiful. Your relationships are beautiful. Where you live is beautiful to you. The family is it's in good shape. You have the family that you love and that you want. You are in love. You are in love with life. That's what this card represents to me. So this is where you're going, and that starts this week, but I think it comes after some relatively difficult times. There has been a lot of worry, and there's been a lot of worry about some very real conflict that's been happening in your life. It looks like external conflict from other people. There's been some backbiting. There's negative energy here. There could be, for some of you, a third-party situation in a relationship. If it's not, it doesn't have to be a third-party situation. It can just be a heartbreak in a relationship, but it's not necessarily a relationship. It can be heartbreak about something that has not worked out. You wanted it to work out. It did not work out. There's been a lot of worry over that. And then in comes this week the Page of Swords that allows you to just cut that out. It gives you some clarity of thought so that you can cut that out of your life and move on and move forward to this. And you are doing it. You're taking your leave from this, whether that is a literal leave, like some people may be leaving relationships or may have recently left relationships to pursue this, what they really love. Maybe leaving jobs that have caused you nothing but heartache. There's been a lot of really nasty politics in the job, not just a little bit of corporate politics, but some really, really nasty politics. You're leaving the circus, whatever that circus in your life has been. Has your love life been a real circus? Has your job been a real circus? Has your family been a real circus? Whatever it is, you're saying no more to that, and you're saying, I'm moving on to this life, and it happens this week. You're moving forward this week. This cycle completes, this cycle begins. Okay, I'm going to get you some words of wisdom for the angels and ancestors. What words of wisdom do you have for my pile threes? Words of wisdom for pile 3. What you got was eagle, see from a higher perspective. That's always good advice. But I think that's talking about both of these situations. It's talking about the situation that you're leaving behind. Rise above it. Look at it from a higher perspective. Be grateful that you got the clarity that you got. Be grateful that you have the means that you have to leave it behind. But don't, because it's so negative, This is saying don't get bogged down in that anymore. Even if you were bogged down in it in the past, look at it from a higher perspective now, and be grateful that you are able to leave that behind and move forward into this wonderful new future that to me also had to be looked at from a higher perspective. You had to look out at the whole world, right? To figure out what it is that you really, really want and what will really, really make you happy. The whole world. The whole world you looked at to find out. That was the perspective that you chose when you created this thing in your mind that you wanted to manifest, that you're moving out toward right now. So that's awesome. Okay. For this pile 3, what action do they need to take? What do they need to do, if anything? What does pile 3 need to do, if anything? Pile 3, what do they need to do? What action? Hold the course, staying focused. Great. That is awesome. That eagle eye. Something about this eye here, this, what do you call those things? It's like a telescope or something of that nature. Looking at it through the eye, staying focused, eagle eye focus on this big dream that you have that's going to open up the whole world to you. And it's happening this week. Eagle eye focus on that big dream out there, because it will bring you all the happiness in the world. Hold the course, stay focused. You're moving in the right direction. Let this go. This was bad. I'm sorry about this, you guys, but what is so great about it, you would be very surprised how many people find themselves in really, really bad situations like this, and they stay. What's cool about you guys is you had the strength to cut out the things that need to be cut out in your life and say, no, no more. I am better than this. I deserve better than this. No more. And take your leave. Leave the circus. Move on. So good for you guys. I'm happy for you. Stay focused on your dreams. Don't focus on that anymore. Let it go. All right, that's all I have for my pile 3s. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste.